Welcome everybody, those of you who are watching live and those of you who will be watching in their own time. Thank you so much for joining with me as we enter into the realm of StarLion. And this is the fourth of our Lioness of Light Oracle Within journeys that we are experiencing together. That 17 we are exploring of the imprints of spirit that make up the Lioness of Light Oracle, of which there are 52, but we are exploring the key imprints of spirit that are, you might say, the greater constellations of this journey of exploring our reclaiming of our sovereignty in union at this time of particularly great change on this planet, the reawakening of the divine feminine in balance with the sacred masculine. So embodying our experience as spirit embodied in matter and opening our hearts even greater toward ourselves, one another, all of sentience, this planet, our celestial universe, and truly connecting ever more deeply with the oneness that we are, which can offer each of us so much, firstly, just great solace and comfort to reconnect with that, because, you know, through all of our life at any time, and then additionally now with tremendous changes that are unfolding on our planet, we are each, you know, having moments of great vulnerability or, you know, picking up on and being affected by the intensity of energetics that are moving through our planet, affecting everybody in different ways. So this is truly a sacred time, and a time when we need to, you know, care for ourselves very gently, lovingly, and then of course that naturally extends out when we offer that to ourselves, to all those in our life, all those around us, all of creation. So StarLion, wow. StarLion, I will begin, of course, with the imprint through my own experience of how she came to me. Only again, in knowing that sometimes when we do share some of our more personal journey, there are things there that can, you know, connect with others and offer other ways of perceiving, connecting, drinking from our own well, and really honoring each of our own process and journey, sacred story, and trusting and having faith in your own intuitive wisdom body, in the way that you commune, that you connect, that you receive, you know, the awe, the things we don't fully understand. We follow the threads, follow the gossamer threads, follow the starry beads, follow, and, you know, the stars of our own constellations. So at the beginning of 2016, I woke from a dream of a lion cub, and I had never until that time considered lions. Like most people, I'd always regarded lions as extraordinary creatures, and had great respect and awe around them, but they'd never been part of my personal life. And to my greater knowledge, I don't think I'd even known a Leo, you know, personally. Now, of course, it's so extraordinary. I'm surrounded by Leos, And that is, what's that about? So much, aside from the fact that this time we are moving into, as I've touched on, along with it being literally the beginning of the age of Aquarius, it is also Leo Aquarius, and you can perhaps get more information and understanding about that through going to Linda Tucker's website, and there will be a link there of a video, an interview with herself and Maurice Fernandez, an evolutionary astrologer, where they talk about that aspect of what's unfolding at this time. But going back to the dream of StarLion, so in the dream, it was very simple. It was day, and yet things were slightly in the shadow. I was just moving through an open public space, but it was within a building. And there I could see a woman sitting on a chair, and at her feet was a lion cub. And I just found myself moving toward the lion cub. And as I came close, we looked at one another, and it was absolutely this connection of recognition, of remembering, of such love. The purity and the absoluteness of the love was just melted my heart. And I went down on my knees, and we just gazed into one another's eyes and leant in toward one another, as if remembering and reconnecting. For such a long time that we had been apart was the sense, the feeling, and it was pure love. And that was the dream. When I woke, and I remember in the dream too, I was not sure, was it a male lion or a female lion? And when I woke, and this is the part I want to share, particularly, my mind started, my rational mind, having to decide, oh, was it a male lion or a female lion, this lion cub? This is often what we do. The rational mind comes in, it wants to understand, it wants to compartmentalize, it wants to rationally engage. Oh, I think that's somebody's audio having a little shake. So what I recognized, though, very swiftly is that actually I needed to let that go. I needed to accept the truth in the dream, in the experience, that this little lion was both male and female, female and male. And there was something about that. And it was not needing to go into explanation or intellectualization or understanding. And the one thing that I was surprised was that I did feel, I thought, where did that come from? Why would I be having this dream? Why would a lion come into my dreaming? I've never thought about lions. I've never considered them. I've never had personal interaction. There's been no storyline. So I was in wonder, but what I was most left with was the feeling, this love that melted in pure light every aspect of my being with such tenderness, with such deep, timeless regard. And we were both experiencing the love. It was reciprocal, and that was so exquisite. So from there on, actually, unfolded to my unbidden knowing a series of events and synchronicities that just went like, dominoes, one after the other, that ultimately led to my going on a journey to Africa with a group of women. It was called Moms, the March of the Matriarchs, and it was to spend time with the elephants and to visit the white lions of Tsimbavati with Linda Tucker. And the other little fascinating thing is that I was prompted to look at the date of that dream that morning and discovered that the date reduced to 22. And then as the year unfolded, I was prompted to look at all the other dreams I'd experienced of Africa. and discovered they were all dreamed on a date over 25 years that reduced to the number 2. And as it turned out, I took this trip that year at the end of the year when I was in a life path cycle number 22, and it was my 50th birthday year. So through that, I began to discover this extraordinary interplay of pattern, of synchronicity. And each again was like a little gossamer thread, a starry bead that I began to follow. I didn't know the story. The story tells itself. And this is what I really want to share with you and to invite you to truly honor for yourself, because it's in the allowing of you truly connecting with the gossamer threads of your own story, of your experiences, not needing to understand them often for years. Now, as I said, things are quickening so much, it happens very rapidly, but just allowing yourself to make contact with the energy, with the feeling tone, with the not knowing, and knowing that the story will reveal itself. And through this is our sacred medicine, your sacred medicine. There is no one story, and each of us might even have the same experiences, but it will have different significance because we are our own mystery. We are our own great unfolding to greater consciousness through all that we have within us that is ever present. And yet, through this experience of spirit embodied in matter, it seems part of our sacred task is to walk one paw print after the other, the awakening, the restoration of our full consciousness, and therefore what we gift to the world, what we gift through ourselves, what we gift to ourselves. And in gifting to ourselves and holding space with love, with trust, with deep regard, the all of that which we are, knowing that every aspect is sacred, that it comes together, that is held in our own constellation, that is connected to constellations beyond us, that if we knew fully in this moment every aspect of our beingness, we couldn't survive. You know, it's like when people say when they are visited by an angel, it's almost terrifying. The light is blinding. It is so supreme and so activating of every cell and aspect of our being that, you know, most of our electrical circuits could not contain the full awareness of that which we are in service to for our own soul, and then the greater mystery that is the gossamer light that we are made of, that we are participating in, that we are bringing forth at this time on this planet now, and that we have been bringing forth from the moment we were born. So just know that. I want to share that with you. And in light of that, this morning when I was, you know, just being in silence and in the sun, taking in and asking for guidance for this session, this prayer, these words came to me. And again, it's in relation to the all and the all of the re-emergence of the divine feminine in balance with the sacred masculine. And that, like the lions, the star lions, we are beyond the polarity or the duality. And yet, of course, it is necessary in this world of duality, of matter, that we experience and embody and move through the dualities of separation. But ultimately, it is the knowing that we are one. We are both divine feminine and sacred masculine. And now, though, is the time for the reawakening, the re-embodiment for both men and women, male and female, you know, every aspect of polarity to re-embody and reignite the creative flame of source that is the divine feminine. So these words came to me, this prayer: we restore one another, we restore ourselves together. We restore one another, we restore ourselves together. We restore one another, we restore ourselves together. And that is my prayer. We restore one another, we restore ourselves together. So I offer that to you. And so now I'd like to take us into the imprint of spirit, the seed essence first, then the voice of spirit, then the counsel of StarLion. As you know, the imprint of spirit came for me through the painting, and then we will move into our own journey of meditation, of being with StarLion. Seed essence. Within her eyes, the light still shines, her origin in the stars. She calls out, we share, each and all, sovereign right of return to freedom. Remember, the infinite heart of creation moves within all. Arise and be the light within my eyes. Voice of spirit. I am that you are, a being of light. We have come from the stars and one day shall return there. Walking this path of embodied form, one paw print after another, I have known what it is to be caged. I have known what it is to long for freedom, to smell the sweet grass on the wind and yearn to rest and play amidst it. I share with you now that when I had almost given up hope, the gate was opened and I walked through. It was love that opened the gate. Counsel. StarLion has come to you with the promise of hope and fulfillment, of the pathway toward freedom that enables you to reconnect with your destiny. Guided by the light of the stars and following your intuitive sensing, take heart and rejoice. We are never not connected to our destiny, but there are times when the challenges or burdens can seem so great and unending, as if we are imprisoned in reality, not of our choosing. It can feel as if we are utterly estranged from anything that is true to our most deeply felt essential self. The light we carry can feel shut down or cut away, denied, disregarded, forgotten. Receiving StarLion is a message that you are held in light and love by your star origins and are being reawakened to the magic of your true nature. You are connected to a tapestry of light that is eternal and that rejoices when you step back into the central sun of your being that is your truth. StarLion is a sovereign being whose qualities of patience and stillness enable her to know when to act and when to wait, not in defeat, but with a quiet serenity that is centered in her sense of timeless self. She is fully present and able to read the signs that come to her, translating them through trusting her own senses. She needs neither permission nor approval from anyone. StarLion moves through the grasses of her environment with complete inner authority. She knows that life, death, and rebirth, healing, are held by patterns and cycles we do not always understand. Greater threads of mystery weave through our lives than we can know at any one time. A StarLion comes to remind you of the light of your true nature. Her gaze holds and renews across grassy plains, continents, time, and the nebula of constellations. And it is that love that is her true nature, your true nature, and the true nature of all. So now we're going to move into our own journey of connection, of return to the essence of StarLion within, the lines, the star lines that are bringing forth their timeless presence, reawakening the strength, the call to inner sovereignty, sovereignty in union, and our truly vast beingness that is eternal and from which we can draw strength and quietude and serenity as we move through these times of extraordinary challenge and rebirth in untold ways that are going to continue for hundreds and thousands of years. So I invite you to close your eyes, to just come into stillness, gathering unto yourself, into the inner silence, the space of your heart, allowing the breath to settle, the in-breath and the out-breath, resting within your own rhythm. Breathing into the heart, allowing the space around you to settle, taking this time, this moment, for deep serenity and bliss. And as you breathe into the heart, you become aware now of the light, the star seed of light within that is your true presence, that is your true being. The light, pure light, one light of creation that you are. And this light now from the very center of your heart, the very center, the quintessential point of your being begins now to expand through every aspect of your body. This radiant light now bathing every cell in its white gold, golden white light and energy, moving out now through the whole of your body until you experience yourself as this point, this presence of pure light, the light of love that is our true nature, the celestial origin of our being as pure energy and consciousness. And as you breathe this light, you feel it moving out through your body, surrounding you now, perhaps as a diamond or a sphere, whatever shape comes to you naturally, that you are resting at the center of, in this pure light of complete clarity of presence, as if the sun is bathing every cell of your being in this golden radiance. It might even be a white sun, white gold. Perhaps you are that white gold sun of pure light. And now, as you rest, as this light, perhaps with your eyes still closed, you recognize that you have now transported to another landscape. You can hear with your ears, smell, almost taste the landscape that you are now sitting upon, sitting within. And something in you knows that you are sitting surrounded by a plain of savanna grasses, the sun warm on your body, the light streaming in. You feel the earth underneath your hips, warm, dry, and slowly you open your eyes and you see about you fields of grasses, golden grasses, each stem as if dancing with light, filled with the light of the sun, as is the beautiful earth that you sit upon, holding you, supporting you, warm, dry. You can smell the sweetness, feel the warmth on your skin, and as you breathe in the warmth of the sun and the quality of this beautiful field of grasses, the plains of Africa surrounds you. And you just rest for a few moments, taking in the stillness, the beauty, the serenity of this place where you find yourself, having some sense deep within that you are home. You are one and that you belong in this landscape through time past. And as your eyes begin to focus now, you see ahead in the distance a figure moving towards you, and recognize that it is a lion, StarLion. She or he begins to move towards you now. Her body also touched by the light, shining with the gold of the grasses, the sun, the quality of light, the feeling of this place of serenity. She moves closer towards you now, and you know that this is a reunion. This is a long awaited for remembrance of one another. And as she comes close, perhaps you body rub or touch foreheads together, perhaps noticing that perhaps you too now are in the body in the shape of a lion, or perhaps you are still in your human form. But no matter what, there is this beautiful remembrance together, this greeting. You feel her heart, this light, this diamond light, this starry light of her heart. And you feel your heart, the diamond light, the starry light of your heart. And it is as if your hearts themselves are greeting, are touching, are rejoicing in this great remembrance and reunion. Enjoy, you maybe tussle for a while, playfully making contact, allowing the energy of your exuberance and your joy, the bliss, to reignite your body, every cell, as if being reawakened, blessed, cleansed, activated in joy, in bliss, all at once. And the same for her. A reciprocal moment of awakening and shared bliss that is healing for you both. A rejoicing in your freedom, in your sovereignty, in your shared sovereignty, in union. And now taking some time as perhaps you lay down and rest in the grasses together, perhaps gazing into one another's eyes, or walking through the grasses, and she perhaps leads you to a place or would like to share, to show you something. So allowing whatever it is to arise that StarLion would like to gift to you, and knowing that as you receive her gift, you are gifting her in return, for this is the shared freedom and reawakening for you both. And as you receive the transmissions through StarLion and your own StarLion being returned, as if a skin within you, like a golden sheath, is now remembered within you, the leonine form that somehow you know is an aspect of your being that has been ever present, and yet only now you can feel the silken presence, the gold that this is, that is pure love, A love that is, in a sense, impersonal and yet gathers all unto itself, recognizes it in all, and knows that this is the alchemical purity, the one light, the pure light of creation that you are, through the leonine form of StarLion, the golden fur, this texture within you and around you that is another aspect of the vessel of your consciousness, the form of your starry origins, this light, this oneness that is StarLion, and drinking in the bliss of your greeting, your reconnection, your reunion, and knowing again that this is a mutuality of delight, a mutuality of love, of great tenderness and remembering. This aspect of your being is ever present, and you can call on StarLion and the family of StarLions for their greater guidance, to seek direction, counsel, simply even to just rest in their presence, in the stillness of the deep wisdom that they embody through the heart. So, beginning to say farewell now to StarLion with gratitude, finding a way to give thanks as you part in this moment, as she perhaps moves back through the grasses into the distance, turning with that look of acknowledgement. We are ever present unto one another, gifting one another, remembering our sacred task, and honoring this, that we are here to fulfill, to embody, to rejoice. And then coming back into your body, the quality of gold throughout, this light, this clarity of light, of energy, your whole body now refreshed, clear, awake, and yet deeply relaxed, deeply centered, restored. We restore one another. We restore ourselves together. We restore one another. We restore ourselves together. We restore one another. We restore ourselves together with all creation, sovereignty in union. So just taking time to reconnect with your breath, to allow yourself to come fully back into your body here now, in the space, the room that you are sitting or laying down in, knowing the ever-presence of StarLion and the sacred path of your own journey, your own deep wisdom, eternal light, and radiance through all. As we reawaken the divine feminine in balance with the sacred masculine and rebirth the consciousness of our planet together. So thank you so much for joining with me, and I look forward to being with you next week, sharing our journey, which is going to be through Nekbet, Vulture, Nekbet Mothermut, first light, through that great being of first time and first light. So I look forward to journeying with you then through the fifth oracle of the Lioness of Light oracle within, reclaiming our sovereignty in union. And thank you each so much again. Great blessings and big love. Blessings.